Roofers today. If you don't know me yet, my name's Tara West and I'm with GoGo BDS, and I also have Monty here with me today.
Hey everybody.
He says hello. We've created just a quick PowerPoint for you today to go over some things now that storm season is finally here. You're probably all ramped up and ready to go to get some leads. Honestly, this is a really strange time for you to be going into storm season, because we're also dealing with a pandemic, and quite frankly, people are, a little scared, they're a little fearful. And so what you've done in the past, sending out your salespeople door to door, that may not be the best approach this year. So we want to talk to you about kind of some other options that you may have. So
Or it can go right along with going outdoors if things lighten up a little bit. I mean, either way, it's going to.
Yeah, true. Definitely. You can definitely continue with your door-to-door sales options. But I want to talk to you also about some other options that may not feel as, intrusive to people personally right now. And that's basically Facebook Messenger. There's a whole lot that you can do on Messenger, especially for roofers. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, because people are really, struggling with how to move their businesses forward while still respecting people who want to practice social distancing. So, how can you do that? And so that's what we were going to talk about today. One thing is that people are kind of confused, like Messenger. Is that just, me texting someone on Facebook? How does it work? Like, why should I even bother doing it? One thing that people don't realize is just how quickly Facebook Messenger has grown across the whole world. I mean, just looking at this graph here, that should tell you if you are not on Messenger, you need to strongly be considering this platform right now. And there's so much that you can do, with it. The main thing with Messenger is that it takes ads that normally would have been kind of, just one way. We're used to running ads or billboards or going door to door and just putting our message into people's faces. So, there's a Facebook ad that you're running, it goes to your website. You hope and pray that they see it enough times that eventually they take action and they give you their personal contact information so that you can
And
call
if you
them.
end up sending them there, you don't know what happens to them.
Yeah, you have no clue where they went once they land on your website. Where have they gone? What are they doing? You don't know. With Messenger, it allows that whole communication process to be personal, and it allows it to be interactive. So rather than, sitting and hoping that they take an action, we are communicating with them right away, right now, when they're interested. That is the difference. Rather, it's two-way communication. They're saying, yes, I am interested in what it is that you're offering. And then you open up communication with them immediately. There's no delay. And this is a little, you can see there's some GIFs in there and fun stuff. But we'll go through at the end. I will show you a full Messenger conversation. Now, there's actually two core ways that you can actually engage Messenger. Most people think of Facebook, but actually Instagram has direct messaging as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit today too, because sometimes that is something that's overlooked. With messaging, the framework for roofing success is essentially the same for other ads, only you're going to actually leverage the power to communicate with them immediately. So you still need to create your presence. You still need to be able to scale the delivery of your message to the correct people. And then you need them to be able to actually engage with what it is that you're doing. So basically, this is the platform that we are now focusing on for businesses that want the quickest growth possible. The reason why is because you can scale it unlike anything else that is available on Facebook. So you can kind of look at it this way, like when people are sending messages to Facebook, what are they doing? Are they messaging businesses? Are they, messaging their friends? All of these actually fall into the same box. So the chances of someone opening a message from your business is much greater when it falls into a Facebook Messenger than it is whenever you send it to email. So email gets usually anywhere from 5 to 10% open rate, whereas your Facebook Messenger is going to get an 85% plus open rate. So this is falling in with all of those personal messages people are seeing, and they're much more likely to actually open it. So
Not
the
only
best way,
that, but whenever they open it, I mean, it interacts with them. It's not just a picture where they click a button. This thing is, I'm sure you're going to get to that in a second, but this thing is talking to them and interacting. A lot of times they don't even know that they're not talking to a human.
right, exactly. You want this to be as personal as possible. And the thing is that with ads, I mean, I guess just imagine it in your mind. If you were scrolling through Facebook, and let's say you as roofers have a lot of really good data, especially when it comes to storm damage data, so hail core reports or wind damage reports. The neighborhoods in your service areas that were recently hit with storm damage. So is this person likely to be in a hail zone? We're going to know based off of that data. So let's say me, Tara, I live in Country Estates neighborhood, and I am here, and last night there was a hailstorm. Imagine how powerful a message would be if I am scrolling through Facebook and I see a message there that's like, hey, Country Estates neighbors, there was a hailstorm last night, and you may not know this, but a lot of your neighbors have already filed hail damage claims. We can help you with that. We're offering them for completely free to you. Message us now, and we can get you scheduled in this week. Okay, that's speaking directly to me, saying, hey, I know there was a hailstorm. Talk to us right now, and we'll get you scheduled in. When they click that, rather than going to your website or a landing page or a form they need to fill out, something opens up that starts a conversation with them where they feel like a human or your business is actually taking care of them. And there's just a screenshot here of a portion of a conversation, but I put in my address, it identifies and says, hey, there may have been some hail damage in your area. Can we confirm that with you? And then it's going to walk through and get that lead information. Isn't that much more likely to get a lead that is valuable to you than just sending them off to the website and hoping for the best? That's the difference in the ads. And you might say to yourself, well, people want to use their messenger for personal business. I don't want to be a burden on them. I don't want to be that business that's filling up their inbox. First of all, we would never fill up people's inboxes with messages. That's not how this works. This is going out and engaging with people who are in, for example, your hail zone areas, your wind damage areas, people who have maybe in the past expressed interest but never followed through with a quote, people who are in aging storm areas. Maybe there was a storm last October and we're wanting to retarget them with ads right now because they're running out of time to file that claim for that storm damage. These are people that are being targeted for very specific reasons. So they're never going to receive ads that are generic or unwanted. But aside from that, statistically speaking, over half of people actually want businesses to communicate with them on Messenger. So you're not a burden. Don't worry about that. A lot of times, businesses are worried about burdening people on Messenger, and it's just simply not the case. People want to communicate with you.
Yeah, these guys are going to be thankful to you for bringing this, because not only can you do what Tara just said, but you can offer them all kinds of stuff that they might not know. For instance, Tara was telling me the other day, you can have up to 12 months to file an insurance claim. Well, we've owned houses before. I didn't know that. You can give these guys good information as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you can really narrow in the targeting, unlike, standard ads, that anything generic honestly just doesn't work anymore. And so the more personalized you can make it, the higher chance you have of successfully getting the lead information. And beyond that, I mean, it's helping you actually build a relationship with these people prior to even performing their roof inspection. So, this conversation is happening and they feel like they know you, they've already talked to you. So by the time your, roof inspectors get out to their property, they feel like they already know you in some way. So it would make sense, as to why conversation-based ads are outperforming everything else. I mean, it's just logical.
I mean, we just did one over the last weekend, and one simple, well-targeted ad for multiple different companies in the same industry. And I'm going to tell you, we got 200 leads in 24 hours from these guys because it was a well-targeted ad. It was something that they wanted. these people weren't annoyed. I think probably like 75% of them responded and put in their information.
Yeah, and the best part of it is that it's cheap. You know, a lot of times when you're forward thinking, and you know, if you're watching this, obviously you're a forward thinking business owner and roofer. So you're trying to get better, you're trying to make your ads more effective. And when you are forward thinking, a lot of times things that, you know, other people haven't picked up on yet are cheaper. And that's the case with Messenger right now. Messenger ads, anything that we run through Messenger placement or sponsored posts, are actually at a lower cost point than our general lead ads. So you can get this at a lower cost point right now simply because you're forward thinking. So, I mean, it makes sense to run these campaigns because they convert at a higher rate, but they're also less expensive. So that's
gonna leave your budget that you already have open for whatever else you want, whatever else is going to benefit you, branding, whatever.
right. And that is, you know, the key to this is it is not an expensive program to run. A lot of people wrongly, you know, assume, oh, you know, it's a chat bot or it's chat tools and it's got AI, so it has to be expensive. It's not expensive. There are 3 different ways actually that you could run messenger campaigns. You could have a live agent there. You could sit there and you could respond to the messages. You could do that. Or you could have it all set up to where it's automated, where a bot is answering all questions and nothing ever goes to humans. Or you can have a hybrid approach to that. And this is actually what we utilize and what we suggest to the vast majority of our clients is a hybrid approach where, you know, we are automating everything that we can possibly automate, but we always have a live agent backup. A lot of, you know, business owners are concerned, well, what if someone has a very, very specific question, what will happen? And that's not something you have to worry about because we always have live support agents to back up anything that we're running that is automated.
And the best part is our live agents that work with us, they're from America. So they know how to talk to people. You don't have some weird sounding, weird verbiage that people can't relate to. We actually make yeah, when we
it's not call
train
centers in India or, you know, anything like that. These are local, most of the time, you know, stay-at-home moms watching the chats. They're waiting for people to communicate with. But by having the automated aspect there, you're essentially allowing people, as you know, everyone wants everything instantly right now. You know, they want instant gratification. If I'm interested in purchasing a product right now, I want to be able to buy it right now. If I want to ask you a question, I want to be able to ask it right now. It doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. or if it's your lunch break. I, as the consumer, expect my question to get answered immediately. And that's where the chatbot can come in and really help because it's allowing that person, no matter the time of day or night or weekend or holiday, it does not matter. It is always there answering questions. And then if there needs to be follow-up with a live agent, that's available too.
Yeah. How many of these do we see come in at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping? I don't know what these people are doing, but yeah, they're a lot come in while the rest of us normal folk are dreaming.
Well, and something someone pointed out to me the other day is that they get a lot of leads anywhere between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. from really qualified buyers that are doctors and people that have to wake up and go to work early. And that's the only time that they have, you know, to be online looking. And so, you know, how unfortunate would it be for you to miss out on those viable clients because you weren't awake yet? The bot can help with that. So, you know, we've talked about Messenger, but as I said earlier, Messenger isn't, you know, the only option. Instagram actually has a Instagram Direct, which is an inbox that goes directly to your Instagram page. And, you know, you're probably thinking, well, people are on Instagram, they look at cat pictures and watch cat videos and are looking for recipes. They don't care about my business. That is actually not true. I mean, statistically, 200 million business accounts are viewed every single day, and 150 million Instagrammers message businesses every month. So that's a lot.
I'm being sassy right now.
Sassy. But your inbox, so your direct message inbox on your Instagram, if you are not checking it, you need to pause this and go right now, or as soon as this is over, go check it, because you likely have messages sitting in there that have never been answered. And the sad fact is I cannot tell you the number of times that we've gotten a new client I've gotten access to their Instagram account, went in there, looked at their direct mailbox, and there's stuff from years and years sitting in there. Customers asking to buy products that they never responded to. You cannot leave this box alone. You have to check it. And so, this can help because it automates some of the process, but also you have live people, like I said, looking at these things for you. So one thing is I also hear a lot is people saying, okay, well, I've tried Instagram. I have an Instagram. No one cares about my Instagram. I have no followers on my Instagram. That may very well be true. You might never get followers on your Instagram. And honestly, it does not matter. Why? Because of discovery features on Instagram and the fact that you can run ads. In fact, 2/3 of visitors to business profiles are not followers of that business profile. So, don't tell me, oh, I don't have any followers, so I'm not going to spend any money on Instagram, because it doesn't matter. Statistics say it does matter and that you should be focusing here. So, what is it that you should do to get started? So for Facebook Messenger, it's really just determining, what is your objective. For roofers, most of the time that is you want more leads and you want more qualified leads. Then you need to find someone to develop the platform for you, like us at GoGoBDS. And then you need to make sure people can find your business, okay? That's through building of your integrated campaigns, appropriate targeting. We like to say we always target the right people at the right time with the right message. That is what is vitally important. And this chat feature in the Messenger, that is the right time every time, because you're communicating with them right away. And then lastly, obviously, you need to be able to measure the success of your campaigns and then optimize based off of those metrics. And that's what we do for you, is we are always looking for ways to make your campaigns better, targeting to make the targeting better. How can we find you better customers? How can we make your message better? And then how can we ensure they're getting the information they need when they want it through our chat tools? Same thing here for Instagram. Pretty much, your Instagram, it starts, the core is, I get in there a lot of times, people don't even have a business profile set up. It's an individual profile. You can't do anything with that. So first things first, we'd want to convert your Instagram to a business profile. If it isn't, we'd want to start communicating with your customers in their inbox, and we'd want to encourage people to actually message the direct box. So, it's a relatively simple process. It's just putting into place all the steps that you need to ensure that you're doing these things. Okay, so now that you know kind of why Messenger is important, why you want to be engaging in your Instagram direct, what would some of these messages potentially look like? That's probably what you're wondering. So like I said earlier, I'll show you what a potential message conversation could look like. This is one for one of our roofers, and just, as an aside, just so you know, everything that we do on our messengers, they can be fully customized to your business. So, if there's certain questions that are frequently asked or things that you want to know about your customers when you receive that lead, we can incorporate all of that into your messenger. So for something like this, it would be, if maybe someone was identified to live in one of those hell core areas, they would click on that ad to get a quote, and then a messenger, something like this might pop up that says, hey, it's only going to take a quick second and we can get you that quote you wanted. And it's going to walk them through the process. As you could see before, it was saying this quote is quick. It's going to take as little time as it would take you to take out the trash. And that's the truth. So here, what's happening is when I put in the address, it's determining, were they in a hail damage area? As I said previously, I was in the hail damage area, so it's going to say, hey, there's other homeowners in your area that have filed claims. So do you believe you have, damage? Was there a storm? They may not know. They may know. So depending on what they say, you're going to kind of go through this conversation. So this is getting all of the vital information that you would need for an appropriate quote. So, what is the square footage of the property? What is the address? How steep is the roof? Do they visually see any damage? They may not. Do they know the age of the roof? So these are common questions that a lot of roofers, want us to ask. So once they've answered all the questions, it's going to say, hey, perfect, we have your personal estimate ready to go. We just need a few contact details to send it over to you. And at this point, that's when we would secure email address, their phone number, and then as soon as they hit submit right there on the phone number, this lead would seamlessly go into your CRM, or an email would be sent if you don't have one with all of the contact details. So that is essentially how our messenger program works. Is there anything
Have
else you
you,
want to add, Monty?
well, I was just going to mention too, retargeting and re-engagement on this.
Yeah, for sure. These types of ads, actually, you can retarget people who visited your website, people who've engaged with your Facebook page in the past. We can create audiences using, algorithms that we have on people most likely to actually need your services. So we can look at, like I said, storm damage reports and target that. We can look at people who've visited specific websites. Maybe they're looking at, this always happens and people always get freaked out by it, but have you ever been like on your phone talking about something crazy, like, I'm going to send my kids off to boarding school, they're driving me insane, all of you are home with your kids right now, so you might be having these conversations, and then all of a sudden boarding school ads start showing up on your Facebook and you're like, whoa, someone's listening to me. Those are the ads we
Government.
create for you. We tap into that. So if someone's just talking about, and they're like, wow, that was quite the hailstorm last night, I hope it didn't damage our roof. Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to retarget them with an ad talking about roof repairs and free quotes? This is just stuff that you can add to your current marketing efforts to make them better. And like I said, your on the ground sales team, they're vitally important. Obviously, you want to keep doing that, but this is something that can actually follow up with their efforts. We're bad about it. When there's a storm, we get inundated with roofers, and at some point, sometimes we're just like, no, we don't want anyone else at our door. But I would be more personally willing to do it online on my own time, because then I feel like it's on my time rather than on your time. And that is honestly the benefit of anything that is conversational marketing based through Messenger. It's that everything is happening on your customer's time, not yours.
I'm trying to remember too, if you mentioned at all like, so everybody that interacts with this thing, you're not going to capture everybody, right? There's going to be people
Right.
that walk away, their dog needs to be let out to pee or something, and they get
Yeah.
they get distracted, or maybe they just, after reading it, they're saying, not right now. Well, the good thing is we, although we can't give it to you legally yet, have all their information. We can retarget them in a week, in
Right.
a
Yeah,
month.
and you're right. That isn't something that I mentioned. We actually have a retargeting tool built into our chat tools. So like Monty said, if someone, were to start the process, airplanes flying over me, it's really loud. If someone were to start the process of filling out this messenger, so let's say they got through and then they're just like, like you said, something happens, their mind goes away and they click out of the messenger, we can re-engage them with a specific ad, maybe even just a message. So we can say, hey, we saw you were interested in a no obligation roofing estimate, are you still interested in filling that out? And just reminding them, or hey, here's where you left off in the process, do you want to complete that? And we can remind them at specific intervals. We actually have 24 hours to continue communicating with them, so we can remind them, where they left off. And then after that, we can actually segment this. So if someone, let's say, started filling out the application and fell off, we can put them into a specific group of people to later on retarget with specific ads or specific messages. So, none of these are lost. No lead is ever lost if they click over to your messenger, period, even if they don't fill out the lead form.
So yeah, if you're watching this webinar right now, give us a call. You might not be interested in right now in being this advanced. We don't care. We'll help you build it. We'll help you get something simple set up just so that you can see how well the thing works. And I guarantee you're going to want to come back and take it to the next level, but we'll help you out. Give us a call.